So my boy Mosiah, he's got a question. I like this one. What's your guys' thoughts on the idea that NSA is behind Bitcoin? Like the NSA is Satoshi. Have you heard that before? Leia, I'm gonna let you take this one and I'll go.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that before. I've heard many different things. I think it's Dan Penner who says he thinks that it's Vladimir Putin that's behind it. So I simply don't really believe this, just because of how the establishment right now has behaved towards Bitcoin, because of how much hostility they've created towards Bitcoin. They don't like it. They see it as a threat to the establishment, to the US dollar. They see everything that El Salvador is doing as a negative. We saw how the World Bank, the IMF, everybody came down on El Salvador. So I think the genuine hatred and fear towards Bitcoin tells me otherwise. Tells me that perhaps it wasn't created by the establishment. And then, of course, it is completely decentralized. I'm curious to see governments try and take it down. I know people are always very convinced that they can, but I just don't think that they can. I mean, we've seen in China, for example, they ban it and then they unban it, and then they ban it and then they unban it, and then you have other places, for example. I think that when the war broke out in Russia, no, it was Kazakhstan. Something happened in Kazakhstan, and all the miners had to move to Russia. Then the war broke out in Russia. Then all the miners had to move. And so the moral of the story is that regardless of manipulated wars, manipulated agendas, and manipulated geopolitics, and I say manipulated very strongly, despite all of that, I think that Bitcoin will continue to exist, which tells me that it's really not establishment, because it would be dead by now.
Yeah, I agree. Mosiah, a great question, by the way. I agree with Leia, though. So I'm willing to be wrong, though. At this point, anything's possible.
Sure.
And I really believe that, y'all, there's no stopping what's coming. And, what Leia is saying is, if the dollar is the world reserve currency, why would they want to create something to threaten the hegemony of the US dollar as the world reserve currency? And you're seeing, this political elite, this financial elite constantly attack Bitcoin, which tells me it's not the NSA. It's not the government. I mean, guys, we've heard everything from Elon Musk to Vladimir Putin. Oh, by the way, Leia, Putin bad for the algorithm, Putin bad. So,
of course, Putin bad. Yeah. Orange man bad as well. Orange man bad.
Orange man very bad. Orange man very bad. So, Stunner Island said the Mossad is behind Bitcoin. Look, guys, no one knows. No one knows. So I'm not going to sit here and say Craig Wright created Bitcoin. I'm not going to say Elon Musk said it. But Leia, I don't know if you follow Satoshi on Twitter. It's an account that's Satoshi, and it said that 2024 is the year that Satoshi Nakamoto's identity will be revealed. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Yes, I did see that. Well, that's Craig Wright is behind that account, right? That's Craig Wright's account.
That's what they said. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I think we are, oh my God, come on. We are so at a point where it would just be ridiculous for Satoshi to reveal himself or herself or themselves. It would be too ridiculous. Because it's too dangerous. Me as somebody who is completely doxxed, my family is doxxed, and so on and so on. I already feel somewhat threatened just by ordinary people, by government, because of certain things I said online, and I haven't even created Bitcoin, and I feel threatened. I'm just me, and so I think that what I'm saying is that Satoshi would not reveal himself or themselves. I think it would be ridiculous, and on top of that, I just don't think it would even be possible. How are you going to know? How would you ever know? I think the closest we've gotten to thinking that it is anyone is Hal Finney, just because of the tweets and the timeline and everything. It looks about right. I don't think we'd ever know. It's going to be one of the world's mysteries, which I believe should remain a mystery.